Hey guys, Bushcraft family back again with another video, and I think this is a very important video. One that I just don't like doing these type of videos because I get labeled as fear monger and stuff like that, spreading fear and whatnot. But I think it's very important, and like I always say, fear is an emotion. You shouldn't let emotion or fear rule your world. There's a difference between fear and being alert, uh, noticing things and things like that. But there's a major stomping ground right now for criminals, and it's parking lots. Yes, parking lots. Be it outside a grocery store or ATMs or wherever. And it doesn't have to be there, but this seems like it's the norm now. I don't know if it's something because it's a parking lot that judges and prosecutors are not uh, cracking down on these criminals or what the case may be. But anyways, I'm going to go over a few stories with you guys and kind of give you the gist of what's going on. This is in Marlboro, a carjacking um, that happened during this crime. The suspects demanded money from a 64-year-old woman who was putting her groceries away from a Big Y in Marlboro um, into her car. Uh, she fought back a bit after injuring her leg, and then assailants threw a bag over her head, forced her into the back seat of her car at gunpoint. Um, she was hit in the head, uh, in the face, at least 6, 7 times with a gun. She told police as the two men repeatedly uh, demanding money and jewelry. They drove around with the woman, forcing her to withdraw money from ATMs from her with using her debit card, um, and then lighting her car on fire. Luckily, she wasn't in it, evidently, because she told the police what was going on. But she suffered broken femur, head trauma, acute kidney injury during the incidents. And the guy who did this at this time, he is free on bond. Yep. Another one. This happened outside of this in the East Bay, um, at Trader Joe's. Victim was assaulted uh, by the outside the store. He was beaten up, violently beaten up. Um, they took his money and his cell phone and all that stuff, and he still has not come back to work. And that was a man. In Manchester, police searched for a man who stole an elderly veteran's wallet outside of a grocery store. Um, a couple came up to him, asked, yes, a man and a woman, a couple came up to him, asked for a jump. Um, as they he pulled up to their car to give him a jump, got the jumper cables out, and they viciously beat him, took his wallet, and the couple um, were released because it was they didn't use any weapons to assault him. So It was a misdemeanor assault, as they say it. Yeah, and he was admitted to the hospital for multiple fractures to his face and ribs. Elderly, and this is an elderly uh, veteran that this happened to. And it just turns your stomach to hear some of these stories. And I went through these stories because you only see the stories, and I wanted to know what happened to uh, the criminals who did this. And in all these cases, they were released on bond or just released without bond on their own recognizance. I can't talk. Um, and that's a shame because they're just going to go out and do it again to somebody else because when they get arrested, they lose that money, so they got to go make it up another way. And there was, I'm not going to say where this was or anything. It was outside of a well-named grocery store. They dumped gasoline on an elderly man and demand his money. When he refused, they lit him afire and did not make it, unfortunately. And they were released again on a bond. And and I don't know what it is about the parking lots that it doesn't seem that these prosecutors are cracking down on this. But anyways, I came up, did a lot of research and stuff about parking lots and everything, what you should be paying attention to and whatnot. Um, Prior to exiting the safe surroundings of the store or building, make sure that you visibly scan the parking lot exterior of the location for anyone uh, loitering around. If you discover someone is following you, go back into the store or the building. Um, Again, if it's late at night and you don't feel comfortable, you do see somebody out there and it seems like they're waiting on you, uh, go talk to the manager of the store or building, bank, or whatever the case may be. Um, Ask them if they can walk you out. It's just a safe way to do it. Um, they'll walk you to the door, your car, and then you can go along your merry way. Um, Always keep your cell phone uh, ready. There are apps on there that they have um, where it's a one touch dial that you just keep on your home page or your home screen that you just click and boom, it's going to call right away. I would suggest thinking about doing something like that. And again, one of the worst things you can do, um, have your cell phone up there while you're walking, not paying attention to anything. One thing, you can get ran over. These days, it's not hard to do, but you're not paying attention to things that it's going around you. Always keep an eye behind you to see if somebody's following you to your car. Um, if you're putting stuff in your trunk, always scan your sides and behind you. Make sure you put your stuff in your trunk or back door, wherever you put it. Just make sure you always keep your eyes peeled of what's going on around you. And most cars now have alarms, and one of the main things, sometimes people forget where they park. Uh, One of the main things they do is click their locks so they can hear their locks. If they hear their lock say, "Oh, I'm over here," but that sets the opportunity for somebody who is waiting for you to jump in your back seat, hide on the floor or something like that. Um, click the alarm a little bit, deep deep. It's an easy way. And when I say alarm, it could be just locking your door because a lot of times when you lock your doors on, you set off beep beep, little horn noise and stuff like that. Um, and if you're always scared, you do have the panic button on there that will go off, and that will draw people's eyes because every time you hear an alarm, everybody looks toward the alarm. Oh, what's going on over there? That type of thing. Once you have arrived at your vehicle, have stored your packages, and entered your vehicle, lock your doors, which a lot of times everybody waits until they drive away before their locks engage. It's always a good idea to lock your door as soon as you get in. Um, Always pay attention once you exit, see if somebody might be following you. It's always, if you feel somebody's following you, it's always a good time to make a couple rights. Three rights and you're back where you started at. And if somebody follows you around there, call 911, say somebody's following you. If you're close to a police station, or if they don't, if they'll tell you to drive to a police station, or they'll tell you continues to drive until uh, we find you. But it's always good to drive to a police station, sheriff's office, or something like that. Don't hurry home and try to run into the house because then they know where you live. Um, things get bad. Um, some other things is um, I'll always keep constant vigil of your surroundings and everything, especially if you're going to if you're using a ATM or something like that, and there's somebody around you and stuff. I'll always keep an eye on them. It's always good to turn around and make sure. And you can't always think that that one person's by themselves. There could be other people there. Again, and I'm not trying to scare people this way. It's just something to think about. Um, so, and these here are a few things to look for. Um, if you're not familiar what to look for, the shady people and stuff like that. Wearing inappropriate clothing, like if the weather is really hot out and you see somebody with a big old hoodie on and it's covered their head, they're trying to mask what color hair they have or their their face, or it's real cloudy out and they're wearing sunglasses and things like that. That's something to think about. Um, and they try to not stand out, even though they are standing out because of that. Um, Repeated movements, lingering and stuff like that. Someone will repeatedly tie their shoes or uh, drink the same cup over and over again. Um, they check their watch, which hardly anybody watch, or they'll act like they're texting, but they keep their eyes on you. Things like that. Um, and really scary ones, if somebody you notice somebody with binoculars or cameras or um, taking notes or something like that. Um, Things like that. That's some of the things you want to keep your eyes open for. And like I said, a lot of times we get complacent and not think about things. If you have a friend, sometimes it's a good idea. maybe you guys can take turns going to the store together. Say one time your friend drives and you accompany her. You both go to the store at the same time. It's better to have four eyes looking around instead of just two. And it's a lot harder for the criminals to adopt two people instead of one. And it's always good to have company. One person can be dialing, the other one could be fending off the others. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is some of the things to be aware of what's going on. And like I said, I hate doing these kind of videos, but I think it's an important type of thing to do. But other than that, always keep your eyes open. Pay attention to what's going on. And until next time, God bless.